Hi there. This is my Unit 2 project. My name is Erica Johnson. So, to start off, I'm talking about the two ceramic pieces. This was this was the first one that really caught my eye with the Celadon glaze on it and just the sculptural aspects of it in general. I really liked when Dr. Mori, I believe is how you say it, was discussing how in Korea, like they would try to put as much, if there was a vessel of some sort, like there may be some sort of sculptural aspect on there. Like I thought that was very creative, and I personally love anything sculptural. I love to make sculptures out of ceramics myself. So, anyways, this is from the Goryeo dynasty in the mid 12th century. We have the obviously Celadon glaze on this molded sculptural dragon head piece with the open work elements you can see all the way through. On either side of this piece is this open work concept with a lotus flower and some vinage kind of wrapping around. On the top, there's 3 holes for the brushes where one could either put the brush in with the handle down for them to dry or wait to be used, or you could lay them across just depending on what the artist was needing it for or doing. But this little guy is only 5 inches long. So it's so small, which makes all the details so much more impressive. And I mean, it's impressive on its own, but I'm just like, for example, looking at those little scales on the dragon, and I mean, even the eyeball, like literally everything it's just impeccable. And I'm so impressed. But also, I have to mention this foot that they put on this piece. To me, it just really balances out everything and almost kind of gives the illusion of like the dragon's 2 front feet on either side. And I just really like that. I thought it was clever, and really there's like a harmonious balance between the top and the bottom and the left side, the right side. Like everything just seems perfect, if you will. So the next piece I wanted to discuss was this drum-shaped bottle with stylized floral decor on it. It's from the Joseon dynasty, the late 15th to 16th century. The Bungchuan, oh, I apologize if I mispronounced that, ware with decoration painted an iron brown slip with a white slip ground. So this piece, the clay that was used was sculpted to create this vessel. And they started in this period to turn away from, in the 16th century, I should say, turn away from incising and kind of carving and went more with the painted decoration, like we can see with the iron brown slip, kind of like more organically, quickly painted on. The white slip underneath was painted on first, of course, and we can see the brush strokes. And I actually really like how that looks. I think there's something kind of like rustic about it, if you will. Not that they were thinking that back then, but anyways, I really enjoy the brushstrokes, and I feel like you can kind of see where the artist was going with the brushstrokes on the iron brown slip as well. And I like that. I think all the colors, like the clay body, the white slip, and the iron brown, look really nice together. And then typically they would put some sort of like light Celadon glaze over it, which I believe this one has. You can see like a tiny bit of shine. So this was more in the 16th century they started getting into all this stuff. Now, of course, I had to talk about the album of genre paintings by Kim Hong-do. And this man is just incredible. I thought that these 25 paintings, I believe, were so beautiful. And this one in particular, I know we talked about it all together, but I just thought it was really beautiful. It captures the scenes of everyday life, and you have this boy who's dancing. He's got this bold ink, probably the boldest out of any of the paintings in the 25 genre paintings that Kim Hong-do, created. And they're all from the 18th century, the Joseon dynasty, and he's got thicker ink and a little darker green color just to really have him stand out, and I feel like he really does. We have this circular composition that kind of balances the dynamics of the scene. We have the people, the six instrumental players creating music, playing music with their instruments, observing the boy. They're all kind of just like harmoniously here together in this circle, and it seems very sporadic and beautiful and lovely. So the instrumental players are immersed in the music, and there's a connection here between all the people, which is really lovely, and I think something that Kim Hong-do wanted to really touch on, and I think he did. And he also, just to mention this in general, really utilizes gestures, which I think is so important, especially in more like stylized work like this. The boy you can see his arms, you can feel his movement. There's like compositional direction here with everyone's body, how they're set up. The facial expressions tell a lot, not just in this painting, but the other ones too, is just incredible. So moving on, the old pine at the Sajik altar, hopefully I said that right, Gyeongseong Joseon dynasty, the late 17th to the early 18th century. This is a hanging scroll, ink and light colors on silk. And I apologize for this photo. I got it off Google, and I'm realizing how pixelated it is. But anyways, the one that Dr. Maury showed was beautiful. And so Jiang Xiaon, I'm so sorry, was coined almost for creating this like true view landscape, which this tree was very famous in front of the altar, the Sajik altar, and it's got these curled branches that are propped up because they're just so heavy, you can see in the drawing. And he didn't draw the specific tree in front of the altar. It was more of a he found a tree that looked like it and drew it to the very best of his ability to create this true view. Like when you see it, you're like, oh, exactly, that's this old pine, of course. And so he started really playing with or creating in his drawings Korean topography, landscape, moving away from the more Chinese landscapes that had been painted by Koreans for years and years. And it's becoming more Korean, and Korean art is becoming more Korean, if you will, moving away from Chinese and learning how to create their own art that represents them and is unique to them. So I loved this unit. I thought it was lovely, and I thought all the artwork was fascinating. So thank you very much.